The Federation of State Beef Councils helps to represent your beef checkoff dollars, and this year they're celebrating their 50th anniversary. Here with more information are Dr. Billy Powell of the Alabama Cattlemen's Association, Jennifer Houston, Region 2 Vice President, and Bill Dale of the California Beef Council. Thanks so much for coming to our show.
Thank you.
Well, I want to start with you, Bill. California, if I'm not mistaken, was one of the very first states to enact an actual checkoff back in 1954. Give us a history lesson on that.
Well, like any great idea, it was born out of a crisis, as I understand. There was a severe drought in the Great Plains in the early 1950s that caused herd liquidation and an oversupply of beef on the market. So much so that the market price between 1952 and 53 actually fell by 50% for cattlemen at the ranch. So there was great concern about how to stabilize the volatility in the market at that time. And so the California Cattlemen's Association called in the California cattle feeders, the Western States meat packers, the California Restaurant Association, and the California Grocers Association, and pulled them together into a meeting in San Francisco in the fall of 1953. And that original group was called the California Beef Industry Committee. By the spring of 1954, the governor had signed the California Beef Council law that created the California Beef Council. The original assessment was 10 cents a head, and that was a voluntary program. And their goal originally was to raise $100,000 to promote beef to the consumers of California. In 58 years, as we're in our 58th year now, California just finished our record-setting collection year of over $3.7 million in beef checkoff collections. So we've come a long way.
You have come a long way. And Alabama wasn't far after them. Is that right, Dr. Powell?
Yeah, that's exactly right. The same dry weather. We had the worst drought in Alabama across the country. So in 1953, our Alabama Cattlemen's Association had really just gotten off the ground, but had some very strong leaders. And they had a meeting, so our minutes say, in April of 53, and passed the hat and got enough money to go buy 500 Eat More Beef bumper stickers. And they'd heard about the National Livestock and Meat Board in Chicago, and so the minutes in the fall, they sent the exec and the president to Chicago to learn what they were doing up there. Came back, and John Armstrong from Texas had moved to Alabama, and he made a motion, and they formed the Alabama Beef Council then in '55, strictly as a way for cattlemen to work together and promote beef.
From humble beginnings grow great things, right?
Very much so. We started like California with a dime. We went to a quarter, we went to 50 cents, and now our leadership has got us up to $1 for the state checkoff.
And from my perspective, it's time to go even further than
Oh,
that.
you bet.
Jennifer, we talk a lot about the state and national partnership. Explain to folks what you mean by that. You've lived it firsthand.
Absolutely. From its beginnings, when the Beef Industry Council, the Federation of State Beef Councils as we know it now, was under the umbrella of the National Livestock and Meat Board, and now NCBA, it allows all of the qualified state beef councils, currently we have 45 of them, to work together, not only to extend the program in a more unified manner. Each of us in our own states couldn't extend the program near like we do. By working together, we can get bigger projects. We can use the whole dollar. We use the 50 cents that we keep in our state, and it merges and works well in coordination with the 50 cents that we send the Cattlemen's Beef Board. So it's just a cooperative effort that has had excellent results over the last 50 years.
You know, you all are wearing these buttons. 50 years is the 50th birthday for the Federation. Tell us, how does the Federation ensure that grassroots level of involvement and support? Go ahead, Dr. Powell.
Well, it's a real good structure because we at the state level, and as Jennifer said, there's 44 of us,
Yep.
would go to the Federation, to the national meeting with our producers, and they are the ones that get together and bring ideas. But you've got a federation, a group that we can pool money, pool ideas, set priorities, and then they will develop at the national level some very professional programs. We at the state level then are able to take those programs, and I kind of get, we're the arms and legs and the Federation is the body, so it's a very efficient way to spend producer money. You get grassroots input, you pool dollars so you really get a bigger bang with the buck, and then we are able to go back home and implement those programs.
It's a wonderful success story, and I compliment all of you for your leadership.
Thank you very much.
For more information on the Federation of State Beef Councils, visit beefusa.org/federation.